Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I had a few questions from today's class itself.
Okay.
Son, one thing you said about Virgo is running behind money
Yeah.
or making money
Your sentence is not clear. Running behind money and then?
or making money.
Yes.
Yeah. So, sir, how do we take this term? Like, how I couldn't understand the signification of this term, like running behind money. Are they like constantly thinking, how do I earn more?
Yes.
Or is it about like they think about how do I extract money from somebody else?
Both.
Or is it like they can go to any lengths for making money?
Correct. All three.
Okay. So in that case, sir, like people who kidnap and then ask for ransom, will it also come under this? Or if we go for admissions, people ask like, okay, if you pay 5 lakhs, your child will get admitted to this school or college or something like that.
Okay. I get your question. Okay. Let me describe that. So, Mercury is, what is Virgo? Virgo is the place where Mercury is exalting. So, your buddhi is exalting. So, are you going to use the buddhi? Where are you going to use it? You're going to use buddhi. Buddhi is essential for a person only to make money. If buddhi is not there, there is no problem. Other than making money, nothing is going to happen. If you don't have a buddhi, right? Buddhi means to make money. So your buddhi is being ruled by karma. So your 10th house and the 6th house are ruling each other. Okay. Or your karma is the disciple of your buddhi. Now, if your buddhi is bad, if your buddhi is bhrashta, the right word is bhrashta buddhi. Bhrashta, why it is called as bhrashta is because of company, buddhi is always bhrashta. If you're uniting with bad people, yes, people can ask for ransom. What was your other question?
Yeah. For this question, it was like for this one, it was the same thing that if I ask for like money for some other purpose, for admission or something, in that case also Virgo is going to play a role.
Yes, anything that can bring you bad karma is Virgo.
Okay.
Hmm.
And so like I don't know, it's a very vague thing to connect to Virgo. Like people selling arms or drugs just for money.
Anything for completely earthly thing is Virgo.
So all this will come under this.
Everything will come under Virgo and Capricorn. Both will rule it. More importantly, we ignore Virgo. Most times, all the people ignore Virgo and look at only Capricorn. But it is
Okay.
all Virgo.
Okay.
Because buddhi is something that will keep telling you, look, this is wrong. But despite that, you will do it. Your karma may tell you, let's suppose you're a butcher, right? You do you do that act for your livelihood, right? You can't keep killing everything because you're a butcher. You cannot be, you cannot lose your senses and you can, okay, man is also an animal and let me keep butchering everyone. No, right? Butcher is only to slaughter animals.
Got it, sir. So second question is uh Mercury being the lord of Gemini versus Mercury being lord of Virgo. Like, how do we take the difference of that single Mercury?
Okay. Look at it in with respect to what Mercury can do based on the Mula Trikonas of the Moon and the Jupiter. Look at it from the Taurus, where the Moon is the father. Okay, Moon is the father of Mercury, and Jupiter is also the father of the Mercury. Look at it from both the places. See how from the Moon. Let us see first second house and the fifth house. Now you tell me.
I didn't understand, sir.
From the Moon thinks.
Yeah.
So your question is, what is the difference between Gemini and Virgo, right?
Yeah, Gemini, like if I have to pick a trait or pick something, so since Mercury rules both the houses, how do I know that, okay, this is coming for this thing? I need to check
I gave you the simplest analogy. From the moon,
Yeah.
Gemini is the second house. What does the second house represent? Talking, right?
Yes. Yes.
Second house represents the child age of tender age, where the education is like LKG, UKG, first standard, fifth standard, etc.
Okay.
Right? So it's a child. Gemini is a child.
Yes.
Gemini is a child because of the illicit affair, right? That is
Yes.
why the Nirmaithna came there. Now look at the Virgo. Virgo is the fifth house from the Taurus, which is the Mula Trikona of the moon. So Mercury is showing the fifth house is intelligence.
Okay.
Okay. So extremely intelligent is Virgo.
Okay.
When intelligence plays, right, you are looking at just the intelligence. Everything else is shut off. Now you will make money by all means. You will not look at papa, punya, you will not look at what is going to come. That is what intelligence says. Intelligence says, Zindagi na milegi dobara. Because you cannot prove it, right? There is a next life. You will come back in life once again. You cannot prove it. Mercury will not agree to it. Mercury will say, come on. Virgo will say, come on. What is this? Zindagi is not there. It is only one life you will get. After this life, it is over. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Ustad has a point. So let us see what he has to say.
So if we see sixth from sixth, that's 11th. And Virgo is typically looking at its own benefit.
Correct.
And in simple terms, if we say Fayda, 11th is the real Fayda. So
Correct.
6 from 6 is 11th. So no matter what happens, what are the moral implications of the thing, Mercury will be hellbent like a butcher.
Correct.
In case of Virgo. But just look at a child in case of a Gemini. If a child does a defecation in public place, nobody will say, although it is a trouble.
Correct.
But if same matured, even if he is a butcher, if he is defecating in a public place, people will eye on him. But in both the cases, since it's Mercury, it will not give a damn. It doesn't care.
Correct.
So that is the basic trait. It doesn't give a damn. And the next trait is, in case of Virgo, it is mature, but it still is hell-bent on profits. And I mean, very
the
near.
right word is profits. Thank you for the word. So the right word is,
Yes.
Preeti, the right word is profits. So he is constantly focused on the profit that he is making, or the earth that he is making. Earth is profit.
Okay, sir. So the third question, like you said that with Virgo, there is always a bad name.
There can be a bad name, there can be a good name because of the buddhi that you have.
So in case it is like, does it mean that by any means, people will know you, either in a good way or a bad way? Is it that? You'll be famous for either for good thing or a bad thing.
Virgo can bring you bad name as well. Virgo can bring you good name as well. This is what I meant.
Yeah, I understood that. I'm just trying.
But the remembering thing comes in Cancer, not in Virgo.
Not remembering things. Like you become famous for either for a good thing or a bad thing.
That's why I say, so for you to be famous, you need Cancer as well.
Okay. So it's not just only Virgo.
Because Mercury is not or Virgo is not focused on that. Virgo is focused on making money. If I will be in the headlines, then I cannot make such money.
Okay.
Yeah, that is how Mercury is. Sit down, relax, listen to the lecture once again, you'll understand that. There is a small difference between Mercury and, the Virgo and the Cancer.
Okay. No, so like I just had a thought, like people whom we don't know, like for general people, and suddenly one day you listen that, okay, this man, he killed someone and then he becomes famous, or we see that, okay, this guy, he became an entrepreneur and he earned so much in a year, just for one thing that in one day, out of the hear something about somebody. So is that connected to Virgo? I just wanted to ask that.
No, that's connected to 8th house.
Okay, fine. Sir.
Hmm.
And sir, one more thing, like if you are not sure about the D1 chart of a person,
Hmm.
there are few traits, like you said about Gemini, he's talkative or doing pranks on people. Can we take them as the lagna of the person in D9? Like from that traits, can we pick the lagna of the person in D9?
Possible.
Okay. Okay, sir. And last,
But what is essential is you need to know the D1 first. Otherwise, just fixing the Navamsha chart is of no use.
okay.
Because D1 and D9 are used in tandem. You cannot individually study a D9 chart as a separate chart and tell you the results. For D10 chart, exclusively D10 chart can be looked upon. Rashi chart may be ignored, almost ignored. Rashi chart plays only 10%. But in case of D9, Rashi chart is 50% and D9 is 50%. So anything that is 50% thing you cannot leave.
Understood, sir.
Mm.
So the last question, like you said, that OCD for cleanliness.
Mm.
So like we see it from sun, like the placement, how will be the placement of the sun if we know somebody who has it? So what do I look for?
Look for Sagittarius, strong Sagittarius. Lagna Lord of the first house being placed in Sagittarius, or the seventh Lord being placed in Sagittarius. Or look for Leo, look for Sun.
So like sun should be placed in Sagittarius or something?
I have given you everything. Lagna should have Sun. I've given you one
Okay,
example. Leo, Sun Sun in Lagna. Sagittarius is in the Navamsha.
okay, okay, sir.
So that is extreme of the OCD thing for the cleanliness.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Mm.
So this is Rajesh. May I ask a question?
Yes. You don't have
Yeah.
to say your
So,
name. Mm.
yeah. Okay. So based on what I have been learning astrology for the past few months, like I learned that like every chart has an amsha of Kala Purush chart in it, like irrespective of whether you are a Aries Lagna or not. So in that sense, if someone has a sixth house, not necessarily in Virgo, but somewhere else, does it carry some of the traits that come from Virgo sign?
Yes.
Okay,
Got
got it.
Yes,
And
but I'm using nakshatras in the D1 so that it is a lot more easier to understand.
got
So
it, got it.
if you have just joined, what I would recommend is please listen to all the nakshatras. I have given enough information. Everything comes up through the nakshatras for the D1. Now we are
Yeah,
talking
I
about the
started.
divisional charts. So all the divisional charts, I'm trying to teach the Rashis, so that Rashis will be useful in the divisional charts, not in the D1 chart. I believe we should not use Rashis in the D1 chart.
Okay, got it. So related to divisional charts, maybe it's out of context or maybe it's there answered in one of the old videos, but uh, so I have been following Dr. PVR Narasimha Rao's videos, and that's how I got interested in astrology. So he does a specific way of calculating divisional charts with event sign reversals.
Yeah.
Do you what would you recommend, or what has been your experience
I'm
in
using
casting divisional
the
charts?
default settings of it. There are two settings in Jagannath Hora. One is
Yeah,
the settings as per the author.
yeah,
The other one is default settings. So I'm using default settings, which means I'm not using what PVR Narasimha Rao is using. PVR Narasimha Rao is using his own system. I'm not very sure if anybody else is, I mean, whoever is teaching, I don't think anybody else is using. He's using his
got
system.
it,
Yeah. With
got it.
due respect to what he has done.
Got it, sir. Thank you. One last question, going back to the discussion on OCD. So I have some OCD, but not necessarily related to cleanliness. And my Lagna Lord is deeply combust with sun. Would that be an indication of
Yeah.
something along the lines
Yes.
of OCD?
Yes.
Got it. Got it.
Deep
In
combustion will
general, if
indicate OCD. What do you have OCD for?
it's mainly mental OCD, like thoughts which are unable to control, and it's not related to cleanliness or doing certain things. It's just the thoughts, the chain of thoughts doesn't end. It's a rumination on
Also
thoughts
connected to the
leading.
8th house?
Sun is the 8th lord in my chart.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Yeah. Sun is the 8th lord and my Lagna lord is Saturn, and they are deeply conjunct, like less than 1 degree apart in the 11th house.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So in general, when a Lagna lord is combust, I learned that the sun takes over the Karakatwas or the rulership over that planet. Is that my correct understanding, or that's not the
Yeah,
case?
that's correct. That's correct. The closer the planets are to the sun, sun takes the responsibility of delivering the results. The farther they are, sun gives away the responsibility to the planets. That is why they are called as retrograde, and they have more cheshta bhala. If they are with the
Got
sun,
it.
the cheshta bhala is 0. They are
So
away from the sun, the cheshta bhala increases to 100% or the 60 gunas or whatever you want to call it that. Maximum
got it.
when it is in the 7th house, the least when it is alongside the sun.
Got it. Got it. So generally a remedy or help would be to pray to sun who is combusting my Lagna lord in this
No,
case.
why should you pray? I mean, unless there is a problem.
I mean, there is OCD obviously, so
No, that's the typical nature of the person. I don't think you can change it. With the 8th
okay.
lord, with the 8th lord Saturn, all being in the Scorpio, right? Now you have it in the Scorpio, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't think you can change it. There's no way you can do a remedy to it. The only thing is keep yourself occupied.
Got it. Yeah, that's what I do mostly.
Yeah,
Keep myself
if you're
busy.
alone, then you have the chain of thoughts continuously coming in. You can't do any remedy for it. Don't spend money on that. You can't do.
Got it. Got it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Shruti,
Sir, oh, sorry.
just give me a second. There's a moment. Go ahead, Shruti.
Yes, sir. So I have a question regarding remedies. So if we have to come up with a remedy, my understanding is that it's kind of a combination of the planet, the Rashi, and the Nakshatra. But what order or what preference or priority are we giving to each? Like which should be considered more?
Good. I like the question, but the only thing is, let's suppose we are in the 8th grade, and if the question is of graduation final year, even if I answer it, you can't understand it. That is the problem. So I'm keeping this question for a year later. You have to ask me this question after a year, not now.
Okay, I think it also ties with your previous answer. I think you said Rashis are more to be considered in the divisional charts rather than in D1.
No, I've taught the planets, right? In each sun in the first house, all that stuff I taught, right? Sun in all 12 houses, all planets in all 12 houses. The reason for teaching them is to see if the remedy will work or not. If you're prescribing a remedy can be performed if and only if the planets are not objecting the remedy. Okay. So if a planet is positioned in a particular place, so it functions only like that. So you can only remedy in that particular tune. You cannot change that. That is why I taught those things. That's why I said, even if I tell you, you cannot understand it. You have to wait.
Okay.
You cannot
Okay.
understand it. Let me not answer the question, because there will be hundreds of unnecessary questions of this. And unless I bring you to the level of that graduation, I don't think you can understand it. Don't take me wrong.
Oh, okay. No, no problem.
So somebody else has the question.
Yeah, sir. So we said when we're looking for money, we usually look at Virgo and Capricorn, which are in earth signs. But why is Taurus an exception?
Taurus is no exception.
Or
Taurus
no
is no exception.
Okay.
The only thing is because it is being ruled by Venus. Okay. So Venus is a little more sattvika than the other two signs, in principle.
Okay, okay. And the second question is regarding Cancer, actually. So we understand that they want to be more comfortable, probably more relaxed than other signs. But in that case, and I know from previous lessons that they need company to do something, well,
Yeah.
mischief or something. But how do they get motivated? Is always like we have to make sure that they have company, or otherwise they slip into this comfort zone where they might be away from doing what they need to, or how do we motivate them to get things done or towards earning something?
Who's the subject here, the Cancer or the Moon?
Cancer, please. Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying, if I've understood you correctly, you're saying Cancer slips into
A comfort zone.
comfort zones, and if you have to motivate Cancer, how do we do that?
Yeah, one I understand is with company, but if not, what else?
You know, it has to be specific to that horoscope, but I would still answer this question to you. You see, Cancer, make Lagna as the Cancer, right? Now look at what you can do from there.
Okay, okay.
So how do you motivate someone? You give an advice, right?
Yeah.
You give an advice.
Okay.
So who can advise here? Jupiter can advise, right?
Okay.
Now you can also offer protection. Protection comes either from the 5th house or from the 9th house. So you can ask Scorpio to advise, but Scorpio is more cruel than the Jupiter. The problem with the Pisces is, even if it advises, it is not going to push you too much.
Yeah, yeah.
So what you can do is ask Sagittarius to advise.
Okay, okay. Okay, got it.
It's a little profound. You have to sit down, relax, and understand what I tried to mean.
Yeah, I got it. I'll go through it again, all the points, I think. Yeah, and one more thing is my observation. I can see that if the sun is strong, in general, they're losing hair or keeping less hair, or also a bit of OCD. So that's my observation.
I don't know what you mean by strong, because I never say what strong is. I don't understand what strength is.
Well, in the chat, actually. So, for example,
how do you say what is strong?
Where it is
actually, I don't think.
Okay.
That is the wrong way of saying it. So you have to say.
Okay. Probably I'm not putting it right way. And one more thing, I have another question about the behavior of these characters, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, or whatever we discussed today. Will they vary? Will they vary depending upon the degrees they are placed?
Well, no, these are not for the Rashis. These are for the divisional charts of the D30 and the D9.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. Got it. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thanks. Shruti.
Sir, I have a question regarding this point that you mentioned. I think for Cancer or Moon, I think the word was Satvika for the characteristic description. And you also mentioned that this may not be that good, because they can also go into blaming the people or situation or anything like that. So my question is, I think a while ago I had listened to some lecture of Mr. Dipanshu Giri, and he mentioned the differences between Satvika, Rajasic, and Tamasic. He mentioned one point that Satvika is one that is looking for long-term success or long-term benefit. So if we consider this, then blaming and things like that probably can give some short-term relief, but no long-term benefit.
Why?
So,
why? See,
because
why are you thinking blaming is a bad thing? See, blaming means understanding the root cause. You have to blame something, right? You understood what the root cause is. Why blaming is the wrong thing? You're going binarily, okay? What you're doing is, blaming is bad, is what you're thinking. No, I'm not saying that. Blaming is not bad. Blaming is Blaming is good because you understood what the root cause is. Now you're looking at removing the root cause, right? So that the long-term goal is achieved. Do not look at things binarily, not yes, no. It is not like that. It doesn't work like this. If you're thinking Cancer is a bad Rasi, okay, and the Capricorn is a good Rasi with this lecture, it means you're doing something which is very absurd and wrong.
No, not with the Rashi, but with regard to the characteristic of what do we consider as Sattvic. That is what my
Why I
question
said
is.
so. The Sattvic cannot do it on his own self. It needs others. It needs God's help. It blames others. Finds the root cause. Works very slowly. If you have to do it the right way, you have to do it in the long term thing. Sattvika is focused only on that. See, if you have to set up a business and do it as per dharma, it will take 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, 30 years. If you do corruption, it will take 5 minutes.
Right.
So what is the point in it? So you understood what I said?
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Understood. Have you got what I said, or you still have the question?
Yeah, to me it seems like blaming, but also with the intention to
See, now you have to remove
come to
yourself
the
from Cancer. If you think you have some Cancer thing inside you, you cannot blame yourself, right? So I'm not trying to show anyone in bad light here. I have also
Like,
Cancer, okay?
I am Cancer ascendant, but I'm not
So that's
asking
what I'm
with
saying. So
regard to myself.
I also have Cancer strong. So all these Sattvikas are going to blame, okay? Or blame is not a wrong word, okay? Don't think blame is a wrong word. Blame is important. You know what is wrong, so you remove that thing. Unless you blame, you cannot remove it. If you think that is good, you can't keep it, right? If there is a problem, you have to remove it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Don't go binarily. Don't think this is yes, no thing. This is not yes, no thing. It is a nature thing which you cannot change.
Right.
So you
Just
cannot put yourself into Cancer and look at it from there. Now you have to come out of Cancer, sit elsewhere, sit in Capricorn and look at from there. You can't sit in Cancer and look at yourself. Don't do that. If you're doing it, then you can't learn. You will think I'm the most positive person in this world. I cannot do any harm to anyone. It's not like that. Believe me. Come out of Cancer, look at it from that angle. Now you have to put yourself into Capricorn and look at it from there. That is when you'll understand what Cancer is. You can't be sitting in the room and can't be observing the place. To come out of the room from the outset, you have to see it. That is when you will see it much better. Don't take, because I'm a Pisces ascendant myself, and Pisces is the person who blames everything. Okay, that's what Divanshu Giri must have said in the Navamsha I'm talking. I'm a Pisces guy, so I blame everything, which is right. I blame everything. If there is a blame, I'll take. If I'm responsible for it, I'll take that blame. But why do you think it is a bad thing? It's a good thing. And I need support of people. I cannot do alone. Okay. So these are Sattvika's things, which are good things. Don't think Sattvika is a bad thing. Okay. What I'm trying to break here is a stereotypical thing, wherein people are thinking Sattvika is a good thing and the Rajasika or a Tamasika is a bad thing. I'm trying to break that stereotype. Do not do that. All three are equally good and all three have equal strengths. And if you are in tune with what the Rashi is saying, you are happiest. If you're trying to do opposite of it, then that is when there is a problem. Do you get me?
Right. Yes, I understand, and I want to mention an observation. I have seen that a lot of politicians have Cancer pretty active, like most of them in my analysis.
Correct. That's right. Because they're in the public work. And the other thing they do is they keep blaming the other party for anything that happened wrong.
Yeah.
I keep coming back on Cancer. See, my sincere advice to you, all of you, is come out of what you are and then look at it. That is when you will understand the real essence of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
Yeah, in YouTube also I had asked when other planets having two signs lordship, why
Hmm.
Sun and Moon having one sign lordship?
Thank you for asking this question. Is there anyone who can answer this question? If all the other planets have two Rashis to rule, why are the Sun and the Moon ruling only one Rashi each?
That I could take a guess because all the planets are moving around the sun, so it's fixed. And moon, only one phase is visible to us on Earth. So that's also fixed in one way. So just one. That is why probably they are.
You're wrong. Okay, that's not right. Preeti had an opinion.
Sir, I was going to say the same thing.
Wow. Okay. No, that's not the right answer. Ustad? I mean, look.
No,
No
I don't
idea.
know.
Okay. So this is the first class that I heard from my great grand uncle. This is the first lecture he taught me. The ownership of Rashis. All the... Tell me, who's that?
Hello.
Tell me, madam.
Actually, Sun and Moon only having all the houses, they give it to others.
You were in the Telugu class. Okay. So you knew this before?
Hello.
We can hear you, madam. Please go ahead.
That's what they gave it to others. No, they kept themselves one house and they gave it to others.
Yeah. So this is the first class that I got when I started astrology long back, 30 years ago, rather. All the 12 signs were once ruled by Sun and Moon alone. Okay. So when each planet came up to them, they have given away one Rashi each. Okay. So Saturn is the first person to walk up to Sun and said, give me a place. So Sun and Moon gave Capricorn and the Aquarius. That is how those two Rashis are filled. If you look at the theory of the expansion of the big ball or the Big Bang, when the planets were forming, right? When the lava went out from the big ball, it first formed the Saturn, which is very far away. And later on, you can see the Jupiter, then Mars, then Earth, then Venus and Mercury. That is how it is formed. You can see that very easily. Okay, that is how the thing happened. There is also one more question here. I mean, there is also one more information that I want to give during this. You see the Mula Trikonas of the planets. The Mula Trikona of the planets of the Sattvikas, okay, are all given by Sun. Okay, that's the Atma. Sun is the Atma or the soul. And Sun is righteousness. Sun is following the Dharma. Sun is the daytime. Sun rules Dharma. When the light is there, when somebody is watching you, you cannot do adharma because you will feel ashamed. The other person is going to come and ask you, hey, why are you doing this? This is not right. Okay. Just for that, not to be ridiculed or not to be ashamed in front of everyone, to stand guilty. A lot of people, I mean, why a lot of people? Everybody on the planet will not do anything wrong in the daylight. When the sun sets off and when the moon chips in, thieves, prostitution, whatnot, all the wrong things happen at night, right? The Mula Trikona of Mars and Saturn are given by moon. Okay. So that is why you can see these are Tamasika planets. Okay. And the Mula Trikona of Jupiter lies in Sagittarius, given by Sun. Venus is Libra, given by Sun. Mercury, again, is given by Sun. Okay. Moon had his Mula Trikona in Cancer. He's given it away and walked up till Taurus and made Taurus as his Mula Trikona. Okay. This is the story. Rao. GK Rao. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else has any questions or any follow-up question?
So, one more thing, like you said about photographic memory, that comes from Cancer.
Cancer, and one more is Capricorn, I believe. Tell me, what is the question?
No, sir, like I
No,
don't.
it's not photographic. I would say can be good memory.
No, but if I particularly want to see photographic memory, then what do I look, sir? Cancer and Capricorn both.
One is on the nakshatra level, it is the Mercury, the Chitra, and the Revati Chitra are photographic memories, both being in opposite to each other. Sometimes even Purva Bhadra is mostly Chitra, Ashwini, Revati, and yeah, these are the nakshatra level thing. And on the planet level thing, you have to look at Venus. Venus is photographic. Okay, on the Rashi, I don't think I can say something. It's too difficult to say photographic memory.
Okay, okay, sir.
Somebody will say Rahu also is useful for extreme memory. I do not deny it. So Venus, Rahu, Sun can also be there. And if you keep including, then it will be Mercury also. Venus, Rahu, Sun, Mercury. These are the... Mercury is more patterned and Venus is more photographic. So Mercury looks at patterns. What is the kind of pattern that you have so that I can make the next pattern? So Mercury uses intelligence, not the image. Venus uses the image. Sun is generic intelligence. Rahu is mix up of all this, all the planets. Rahu has a little from Mercury, little from Venus, little from Sun, everyone. Ustad, you had a question, right?
Yes, sir. Actually, I had follow-up.
Okay.
In last class, I was confused about exaltation. So I contemplated, I have written a little bit about it. And let me know if I'm thinking on the right lines.
If I know, I'll definitely tell you.
I mean, when we say like Venus is exalted, it looks like the planet has got into something unusual state. And it looks like it is the planet which is getting exalted. But if we read between the lines, we are actually talking about abstract stuff here, which is very hard to put into concrete words. So, what my analogy to this is, so that we can relate a chemical reaction. Exaltation or debilitation is not a thing exclusively happening to the planet. It is a phenomena. For example, let us understand it with the help of a chemical reaction, which I did in my 11th class in. It was regarding potassium. Like we put potassium in, it is stored in kerosene so that it doesn't oxidize. And if it does oxidize, it creates an explosion, which is an exothermic reaction. But if it take it out and put it in water, it will explode. And I have seen it. My chemistry teacher did it in my 11th class in the laboratory itself. So here we can relate that potassium is the planet. If we have to understand these abstract concepts, we have to have analogies like this. And environment to the Rashi, which is kerosene over here, and explosion to the exaltation or debilitation. Am I correct? Because and one more question I have regarding the same thing. Like in case of exaltation, the planet's qualities are getting accentuated, exaggerated, and the Rashi's quality are not, used only 20%. And in case of debilitation, the Rashi qualities are dominating over the planet's quality. That's what I have observed. And just like in case of Venus in Virgo, the guy will know the value of, the cost of everything, but the value of nothing. Like that will be the attitude. But if we go with Venus in, let's say, Pisces in the Amsha charts, then the person will be too much exploiting the qualities of the Venus. Like they'll need a proper bedding. They'll be very specific about the bedding that it needs to be comfortable. And that's what I had to say, sir. So what is your opinion on this?
I've told this before. I'm telling you once again. So take any planet and understand what I'm trying to mute you up so that I don't have the disturbance. I'll give you the chance once again. Yeah. Take any planet, take where it is exalted and take where it is debilitated. Okay. It is trying to explain the tattva of the Rashi only. That's all. If Venus exalts in Pisces, it means it is the tattva of the Venus that exalts in Pisces. It means the Venus has to reach there. Okay, the Venus has to reach there as a planet for its karakattvas to exalt. Venus is the karaka for sexual nature. Pisces is the utmost purity. Okay, that way you understand each of the trait of the Venus and each of the trait of the Pisces. Then you will know why Venus is exalted in the Pisces. That's all. It is going to only explain you what the tattva of the Rashi is. Even if Venus exalts or debilitates, don't worry. It has got nothing to do with your life. It doesn't work like that. Ustad, is your question still not the same? What was your question? I understood the chemical reaction that you're talking about, the kerosene, the water, and the phosphorus. Okay, K plus H2O and all that stuff. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, if that is the case, then only chemistry people will understand this. But you understand it the way you want it. Okay. Because you were good at chemistry, you can, because if somebody else is an art student, then you're denying the understanding. What I'm only trying to say is, try to understand what the guna of the Rashi is, what the guna of the planet is. Guna means the characteristic or a trait. So these, when the planet exalts in a place, it means that it matches the quality of the best level, or because if you look at Venus's exaltation and debilitation are the only most difficult to understand. All other planets, it is very easy to understand why they exalted that place. Venus is the only planet which is exactly opposite of the nature can be. So if you clean aside Venus and look at any other planet, it is very easy to understand. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't agree.
Achha,
Actually,
what is your point?
Like, if you take Mars, let's not take Venus. My question was not regarding Venus, is what it was only used as an example. So let's take Mars. If you keep Mars in Capricorn, the qualities of Mars are going to outshine the qualities of Capricorn. That's what I'm saying.
No.
And if you keep Mars in Cancer, then qualities of Cancer will overwhelm Mars to let it function properly.
Not necessary. Not necessary.
But that's what my observation is. That's what I was
I'm saying.
asking you.
It is not necessary.
Okay.
Then
that is answered.
Yeah, it is not necessary. Okay. Maybe it is a very few number of charts. First is why Mars gets exalted there in the Capricorn. You understand that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
why is it?
Because it is the karma sthan and Mars needs the karma for it to do. That is the job for which Mars is born.
So why does it debilitate in the 4th house?
Because it is the home. What will Mars do there? It doesn't have a war to fight. In Capricorn, it is a war to fight.
So that's what I'm saying. So you understand the debilitations and exaltations of all the planets except for Venus very easily. Venus is the only planet that will trouble you. You in the sense for anyone. You in the sense anyone.
My next question. My next question was regarding Libra. Libra is a very tricky lagna or sign. Normally, people are worried about Scorpio, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Virgo. But I just was looking at Libra first from this side. That 8th house is Taurus, which is ruled by again Venus.
Yeah.
It exalts in 6th house.
Yes.
It debilitates in 12th house. All 8, 6, 12 are active. And look at the planet which exalts in first. I mean, Libra itself. It's Saturn. It will overburden the person with responsibilities.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Libra are the most tortured people, I think, rather than these Capricorns and Scorpio, Aquarius, Virgo, or whatever you can take.
No,
But I think
Libra likes that challenge. That is what
yes,
we've talked about that, right? So I don't think Libra takes it as a torture. Libra wants to educate that Saturn who was at the last bench. Being a guru, he is looking at the last bencher who gets the first rank. Saturn is the last bencher. Venus is the guru, Rakshasa guru, right? Who is he training? He's training the last bencher. If the guru can train the last bencher and bring him up to the first rank, look at the person who learns from that Venus or that Libra. Anybody will be exalted there. Anybody will be happy to have Libra as guru or the Venus as guru. Understood what I said?
yes, yes.
So it is only to understand what the tattva of the Rashi is, right?
Maybe that's why
Each planet will be very comfortable being in the Libra. However, the objective of that planet is to reach the 6th house from there. That is the challenge. It is not going to sit idle like the planet in the Cancer would like to sit idle. Doesn't want to work. Planet in the Libra wants to exalt in that place of the Pisces. So it is pushed constantly and asked for work, service, 6th house.
True. Okay. Thanks then.
Sir, also exaltation is just the environment that the planet is getting. It has nothing to do with the like traits of the planet. It's just that if I get to sit in an AC room, okay, I can relax better than sitting just on the streets.
No, Preeti, 1 second. I have a colleague of mine. If there is an AC, he wouldn't enter there. He would think, look, I am in the AC, I'm suffocated. What do you have to say for this? Can you please repeat what you said? Somebody sent me a message. I only heard you halfway.
Okay, no, so I wanted to say that for exaltation or debilitation, it is just the environment that the planet is getting.
Yes, that is the Rashi, correct?
Yeah, that is the Rashi.
Yeah, the exaltation happens when the planet feels happy about it.
Yes.
Okay, otherwise the debilitation happens. The same Rashi of where the Venus is exalted, there the Mercury is getting debilitated because it doesn't like that Rashi.
Yes.
There is no big confusion here. The only thing is you have to sit down, relax, and understand what Pisces says. Pisces doesn't like the earth. Pisces doesn't like money making. Okay.
Yes, so that only I was going to say, that it is only about the environment that the planet is getting.
But Venus is exalted there. Venus is comforts. Again, it contradicts there. That's why I'm saying Pisces is the most contradictory sign. Pisces is looking at blaming. We have still not come till Pisces. The most difficult sign is Pisces to understand in all the signs. It is Ubhayodayi. It originates from the back and also the front. It rises both from the front to the back. So Pisces is very difficult to understand. That's why the Venus's exaltation is more difficult. Ustad.
I think, sir, she is asking about whether it is only about the Rashi, the exaltation thing.
Yes,
which
it is only about the Rashi. Which is only about the Rashi.
No, sir. How can it be? You just said it that at the same place where Venus will exalt, Mercury will debilitate. So it is about both the planet and the environment.
It is not about the planet. It is about to understand the tattva of the Rashi. You are placing a planet there and seeing. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. It actually explains the Rashi even much better. That's all. Planet being in debilitation is not going to give you a bad result. Planet being in exaltation is not going to give you a good result. It is not for sure. I can show you a lot of charts where the planets are exalted and there are bad results. Similarly, debilitation, the good results. Both are there. So there is no generic thing. So if a planet feels exalted, it doesn't mean it is going to give you good result. So now if you put a step back and say that it is not for the planets, it's just for the Rashis, then you will be out of this mess of the planet being exalted and the planet being debilitated. That will actually forbid you from thinking this happens for the planet. It actually is for the Rashi.
Yes, sir. I was going to make that point only, that it is only for specific for the Rashi. It's not
Yes,
about
it is
what
for
the
the
planet
Rashi
is.
only. It has got
Yes,
nothing to do with the planet.
with the planet. Yes.
So that clears my confusion now, because I was thinking it's about both.
No, it is only for the Rashi. If you have to understand the Rashi Tattva, you need to know what planets are exalted there, what planets are debilitated there. That's all. It has got nothing to do with the debilitation of the planet or the exaltation of the planet. Planets do not do anything. Okay, Vani has a question.
Not question, sir. I just want to second you with what you have said. So, with the horoscopes that I have seen, especially these debilitated and exalted planets, so they have a prominent results I have seen, but not necessarily exalted planet is giving good results and debilitated planet is giving bad results. But definitely they are giving some prominent results. So that's what I have seen, especially in Navamsha.
Provided they are the lords of the Kendras, okay? Otherwise, they are not giving prominent results. 1, 4, 7, 10. If they are the lords of that, then they are giving some prominent results. If they are the 3, 6 other houses results, not much can be seen. It is happening for somebody else. We will talk about those things during the Navamsha classes. Just be little patient. Okay. Anybody else has any question?
Sir, I have one generic question. Hello.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
hearing.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, we are having a soul and a manas, kind of like sun and moon ruling two different things, let's say, and if they're placed in certain rasis, will the friction will increase if the rasis are not friendly, or will it be friendly if they fall into, let's say, earth signs both together? Example, if the ascending is in Capricorn and the moon is in Taurus, or ascending is in Pisces and moon is in Cancer, let's say, will the friction be less or more within the man or a woman?
With friction.
Sorry, I'm not sure if I.
Friction with.
So, yeah, so Manas is saying something, soul is searching something.
That is always there. The friction between manas and soul will always exist. Nowhere, either the moon is placed here or there, or sun is placed here or there. Moon and the soul are constantly in fight with each other for anyone. Even with Ramakrishna Paramahamsa also it happens.
Will it differ if they fall in different signs like earth, water, kind of fire, air, whatever?
No, wherever they are, even if
it
they
doesn't
are the
matter.
same sign, also it is the fight constantly exists.
Okay, so another question is like the D1 and D9. Obviously, the planets are placed in different rasis, definitely. So, as I understand, the D1 is like our physical presence and how we behave with outside world, and D9. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
D9 is something to do with when we are alone or we are introspecting or self-auditing ourselves. Now, depending upon how much variation we have between D1 and D9, will the friction be more or less?
No,
I mean, let's not say friction, but the work that the man is doing behind the scenes.
No, it's not like that. D9 and D1 are seen together for a reason, because what do you do with your birth chart? Birth chart is to understand what you are and what your future can be. Your future is your D9 chart. Well, the result is your D9 chart. It has got, I don't know what actually you said, I couldn't actually follow. But the objective of D9 chart is, let me complete the sentence. Probably this could be the answer for it. The objective of the D9 chart is to understand what the planet in the D1 is to offer as a result. Result comes from the D9.
That's a futuristic result we're talking about, yeah.
For any planet to be placed in certain thing, certain Rashi from a certain house from the Lagna, will have to deliver the result based on where it is placed in the Navamsha. Okay.
So
assuming somebody is destined to start a business. This is what you will see from the D1 chart. Example, I'm trying to share. I'm not saying this is exactly what you will see in the D9. I'm trying to make you conceptualize the thing. somebody starts a business, can be seen, assuming, can be seen from D1. Okay. Then will the business be successful and will he be able to make money? Will be seen from the D9. Or is he making losses? Will be seen from the D9. Okay. Although this is not the right way of looking at it. If you have to start a business, it will be seen from the D10. Okay. Are you making money? Can be seen from the D9.
Yeah.
Okay. At the end of the day, are you happy with what you're doing is what you can see from the D9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the happiness part is also there. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
And then also multiple purposes D9 is used, because D9 will be used basically to correct the chart because D9 is more magnified thing. Unless your chart, I mean, the time of birth is very accurate, it is too difficult to pinpoint where the D9 Lagna is. So D9 plays a very big important role, and why we are understanding Rashis is only because of that.
Okay, so while we are correcting birth time correction, we are asking questions and events and finding out this D9. So as we understand, the D9 is very sensitive. Can it make, I mean, within how much time it makes difference? I think I heard it.
You can see it. Just come here. Are you able to see this? The chart?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Just go to D9, select the D9 or any chart. Just right click here. The first option is when will Lagna change sign in this particular divisional chart. Now this is Navamsha.
Okay.
But if I just click on this, you can see 8 minutes if you move it backwards, 6 minutes if you move it forward, the birth time. So in about 15 minutes of time, right from the start to end, so you will be like changing the Navamsha thing. Most of the time what happens is 3 minutes, 4, let's suppose if I just have, somebody gave me a time of, I don't know, 21 if somebody gave. Okay, now if I just click here, you can see 4 minutes, 35 seconds, the birth time will change, right? So it's more, it can, then what I would do is, even if the parent says, or even if the boy says, or the girl says that, look, my time is very, very accurate, I would still suspect it. At least for the next one forward and backward, I will definitely check for it. Definitely check for it. Without doing it, I will not say a single line. Because before I utter a single line, I have to be 100% sure that I'm looking at that person's horoscope.
Okay, yeah, got you. Yeah, thank you.
Done?
Yeah, I'm good, sir.
All right. Sure. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.